Welcome back to Everything Whiskey. I'm Callum.
I'm Sam.
Today we're having a look at the top five. Welcome back to Everything Whiskey. I'm Callum.
I'm Sam.
Today we're having a look at the top five underrated bourbons.
Alrighty, so we're going to start with, all of these are very low, as in low being, there's not much left in them, and that's probably,
that's a good sign.
It's a testament to the whiskey themselves. We're going to start with Russell's 10. I wanted the single barrel, but if we're talking about underrated, this is probably the more underrated one. These are very high quality whiskey, price-wise, super reasonable. It's like
They're
$80.
You can compare the single barrel as well. Like, they're basically the same price. Single barrel is a bit more.
It's like $10 extra for the single barrel, but I think it's less.
In Australia,
aged.
That's at the same price.
That's true. Yeah. But so 10 years old. It's basically if you like Wild Turkey, you will like something Russell's, because the head distiller for Wild Turkey is it Eddie or Jimmy? I think Jimmy Russell might be the head distiller at Wild Turkey. Him and his brother Eddie Russell work on the Russell's line. So they're very similar in the way that the flavor profile, so their mash bills are quite similar. They're normally relatively high rye.
Yep.
Again, there's really not much left of this. We're just gonna have to buy some more, but it's a damn good, just kind of not run-of-the-mill in a boring way, but run-of-the-mill in the way that is very classic, very balanced.
Well, I mean, it's aged 10 years.
But exactly, that's
for
the thing.
For a pretty budget bourbon, it's like 60, 70
I think
bucks.
the thing with this is value, like the quality to how much you pay, like the things you're getting, like it's, what's the percentage?
45?
So it's 45%, it's 10 years old, and it's by very well-renowned,
whiskey
distillers
makers.
and stuff. So like, honestly, I'm surprised it costs what it does. Even the single barrel too, being 50% is like insanely good. I don't know why.
Well, it's like slightly below the 101 Wild Turkey.
Yeah.
Price-wise.
But I reckon it's just as good as 101 when it comes to flavor.
Flavor, yeah.
Like there's nothing lacking in the Russell's line compared to Wild Turkey. So if you're into Wild Turkey and you're looking for something within that, same kind of realm, then definitely try out anything Russell's, be it the 10 or the single barrel.
Mm-hmm. Very Wild Turkey.
Just nice and dry, nice herbal, yeah. Sweet, caramelized, brown sugars and fruits, but also just that nice black tea.
And black tea.
Black tea for me rings through the same way it does with the 101.
All right, so next on the list is the Baker's 7. We did have a discussion about this, if it should actually be on this list.
I don't think I don't think it should be on here as underrated, because I know so many people who they love Baker's, and like that lineup, it's part of Jim Beam. Like there's nothing underrated about Jim Beam in any capacity. Like Booker's massive, Baker's massive, Knob Creek, Basil Hayden's, like it's all all big.
Where I'm coming from is, when you consider a high proof bourbon, I would never reach or think of Baker's.
I always would, because I reckon it is mad value. Like the price,
that's why
for what you get,
exactly.
It's really nice. Really impressive.
So it's what, 53.5%?
That's why I didn't complain about it really being on here, because like it's damn good. I just don't know. I think within the whiskey community, probably not underrated. People in the know for bourbon, but for like a wider audience, I doubt they know what Baker's is. So in that capacity, yeah, I guess.
It's very oaky, almost that banana note. But that's probably because it's 7-year-old.
It's sweet, like it's got a sweet oakiness though. It's like super toasted. It doesn't like smell. It's not got the same level of bitterness that the Booker's has. If that is something that like bothers
How
me.
old is Booker's? Because this is 7 years.
Booker's is like,
they're both single barrels.
I think they don't normally. Or maybe they do, but it's on
it's down there.
I think it's basically. Yeah, it's basically empty.
Most of our bourbons are basically empty.
Yeah, so Booker's is 6 years and 3 months.
So they're basically the same age.
Very close.
Yeah.
Booker's is like, I think it's the top rung of the Booker No line.
Baker's is second?
I believe so. Yeah. And then I think technically Basil Hayden's is like the bottom one. Either that or Knob Creek. But I like blatantly despise Basil Hayden's. I don't enjoy it whatsoever. I just don't know why, but it's so overpriced here in Australia.
Yeah.
And when you've got Knob Creek for like cheaper and more proof and way better flavour,
it just tastes better.
It makes no sense to buy Basil Hayden's, at least in Australia.
I think Baker's comes in around $40 cheaper than Booker's. And for the price,
yeah, I think so.
The notes are, Booker's a little bit more turned up, but they're pretty similar in the Baker's.
It's the same like gist.
Yeah.
Like, but Booker's is cranked up a lot. It's high proof, fair bit high proof, and the barrel impact is a lot higher. Like the bitterness from the barrel.
Yeah, there is more vanilla now that I've tasted it.
It's not on par, but it's like in the direction
Yeah.
of Stag Junior. So like if you've
The
had
Booker's, yeah.
the Booker's is, yeah. Whereas this is a lot more tame when it comes to barrel impact, I reckon. It's probably objectively like better. Like it's probably gonna hit more people are gonna enjoy
a wider
this.
audience will like it.
Not just because it's lower proof than the Booker's, but like that barrel bitterness is a bit of an acquired thing. Like,
yeah, I
'cause
agree.
it attacks the hell out of you. It's not like a relaxing kind of like drink. All right, so we're gonna do Noah's Mill next. This is from Willet, which I mean, if you're into whiskey, you've heard of Willet. Basically, they're a massive distillery in Kentucky. This one in particular, I mean, we love the bottle design and everything like that. It's nice and vintage looking.
Yeah.
The thing is about this, we don't know much about it. Like,
I've never
just,
seen it anywhere in Australia.
Yeah.
It's on Nick's one.
It's only on Nick's, and can you even still get it from Nick's?
I think you can.
Yeah.
It's like another one coming up.
Yeah,
from the
we've
same
got-
place.
But the thing is about it, yeah, it's very like, you won't have heard of it kind of thing. If you might have seen it at some point. I don't know, distribution in other countries. Here in Australia, it's not on shelves. It's only at like...
In America, it would be everywhere, I would imagine.
Maybe, but maybe it's one of those ones that are kind of like weird.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know, I just don't see people really ever bring it up. I don't see it online, other whiskey channels or anything like that, so I'm not sure. It is bottled at 57.15% alcohol. And yeah, that's pretty much like I don't really know a whole lot more about it. It's small batch, but that's not legally meaning anything, so like it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's a really interesting bourbon in the way that we've always gotten weird kind of like, what's that? Raspberry liqueur. Chambord. I've always gotten this weird Chambord kind of like note from this bourbon, and it's really, really nice. It's like a dessert red wine like dash. Oh, it's so nice. It's got that
how much was
like
it?
more tart version of like rare breed almost for me.
Yeah,
it's
got
like
that.
it's more raspberry, like fresh raspberries. I don't know. It's
I'm
fresh
just trying
like forest berries.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think it was like 150,
Was that much?
which
was it?
sounds expensive, but for the bourbon that's in it is, I would say
Yeah.
it's reasonably priced, especially over
Well,
here.
it's here, so
Yeah.
and it is something that is hard to get your hands on. So anything that is high proof and not common in Australia is like just assumed that it's going to be over like $200 because that's just the market here.
Yeah.
So yes, for what it is and how like uncommon it is, the distribution and the popularity. Yeah, 150. I mean, we're gonna buy another bottle.
We've
of
just finished it.
So, yeah, I think it's definitely underrated in the way that I never heard anyone mention it.
No.
Like maybe we go Whiskey Vault and have a look and see if they've ever reviewed it. But
I think they have. I
they've
think
kind of reviewed everything. But
Yeah.
like again, I've never seen it anywhere
No,
else. I've never
neither.
seen other people review it. So
it's like a raspberry sherbet. Insanely
for
sherbety.
me, it's like not sherbety. It's not like lolly candy. It's like just fresh, like muddled forest berries, like blackberries, raspberries.
Yeah, you're probably right. But it's got that zesty factor. Maybe like a lemon zest
it's
chucked into
definitely
the,
zesty.
Yeah.
Just sherbet as in like, for me, like when I think that,
like candied sherbet.
yeah, like for me when I think sherbet, it's like more simple sweet candy. Like it's for me, this is
And
like,
simple sugar flavors.
yeah, this is like not simple candy sweetness. It's like quite
A lot of
fresh
depth.
fruit.
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of caramelized sugar as well on this. It's really nice.
It's got more bang to it. This is the one that's got the most kick so far.
It's the
And
high
it's
fruit
not-
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's got like the actual notes themselves are a bit more lively, like the fresh fruits. There's some tartness to it. There's
Yeah.
like some,
It's really oily.
there's some nice oiliness to it. It's like maraschino cherries, like apple pie kind of thing, but
Yeah.
like with mixed berries through it. It's got the
Yeah.
brown sugar, the like spices. It's really, really nice. I don't know why we've never seen it anywhere else or why we haven't seen anyone else review it. Like it's just one of those ones.
We should probably go with the Rowan's Creek since we've done Noah's Mill. So it comes out the
Yeah.
same distillery. It's basically
We think so, yeah. It's like part. It's from
Bardstown,
It's
Kentucky.
Willet. Like we're assuming
they're
it's
the same
distillery.
bottling. So.
Yeah,
But Rowan's Creek is very nice. It's very winey from memory.
yeah. But this time it's a little bit more white winey.
Yeah.
It's a bit more white grape kind of like direction. I assume these are both like independent labels sourced from the same distillery. but the same kind of like there's some similarities with the labeling and
It's
the
like exactly the same labeling.
so there is like some similarities with the labeling and stuff, but also the taste you can tell. This time, I think it's a little bit lower proof maybe in this
50,
one.
50, I think. 50.
Yeah, so it's 50.05. But yeah, it's got a little bit more. It's got that fruity winey touch, but it is again, it's more like a dessert white wine.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and I think we bought this for $110, so it's a lot more reasonable.
Yeah, it is.
But again, it's only on Nick's. I've only ever seen it on Nick's. Oh, the nose on the Rowans is so nice.
It's less fruity. It's more classic, barrel-oriented, kind of like more spicy, more woody, more toasted kind of char, burnt it's like burnt trail mix for me, like burnt nuts and oats and stuff like that. Yeah, less fruity. This is like intensely forest fruity tart. This is a lot more typical with a little bit of like it's definitely a fruity bourbon, but it's more classic bourbon style. Whereas this has actually got quite a unique kind of angle to it.
Lots more vanilla in the Rowans.
Yeah, vanilla's like toasted vanilla is like a good shout. Yeah.
Do we know how old the Rowans is?
No, I don't. I'm not
it says
really sure.
2013 on the back, which is nearly 10 years ago. We have had it for about 4 years, I think.
You reckon?
Maybe 4 years.
I reckon 3 max. I reckon it's like
maybe it's quite old.
I don't know. I've kind of lost track of how long we've been like doing this, to be honest. But
yeah, well, that's the issue. When you have so many whiskeys, you just drink less of everything.
Yeah, but like you frequent the individual bottles like less. Yeah, it's definitely a nice classic bourbon. I would love to know if you guys have heard of either of these, and if you know a little bit more information. There's clearly relevance between them. They're both from Willett, Bardstown, Kentucky. There's similarities between the bottle style, the labeling, the corks, the exact same. Like there's clearly a relation there. I would love to know a little bit more about them because they are 2 of our genuine favorites, not just like overall of the,
I mean, that's why they're on this list.
In the sense of it being underrated, but they are 2 of our favorites just in general with bourbon. So if you know anything about them, do let us know because I'd be very interested to hear about it.
I was just about to say, you can actually taste, or you can see similarities between these and the Willett Pot Still.
Yeah. That's got the same like deep chocolatey,
chocolate
fruitiness. Alrighty, so this is a newish one from us. So you probably would have seen a review of it individually relatively recently.
I love how empty it is. We drank it. We reviewed it probably about 2 weeks ago.
It's tasty. It's so nice.
It's very nice.
It's a special edition for Kingsman: The Golden Circle, the second Kingsman movie.
Yep.
There's like their American counterpart in the movie has this as like they make their own whiskey instead of whatever the hell the other guys do. I don't know, whatever. Irrelevant. Basically, it was for a movie, but it's really good. Like, it's not just like a marketing thing.
Yeah.
They put effort into this. This is good whiskey. If you're thinking of like, a library with old books with nice, red cherry wood chairs with, wrapped in leather, like that kind of smell and aesthetic, this is the exact bourbon you should be thinking of because it just reeks of old leather, old cigars. It's just, I don't know, I was blown away by it. It's not like, I'm normally like a really sweet caramelized bourbon type person, but this is like the nose. I was just living in it in the actual review we did of it.
It smells like the actual leaf of the cigar.
Yeah, like the fresh tobacco,
Lots of plums, raisins on the nose.
Deep, dark fruits. There's like a nice maraschino cherry, like tartness to it.
Lots of brown sugar.
Tons of brown sugar, but it's got this acidity that is, it's like
an apple acidity almost.
It is appley, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's also kind of like like the cleaner you use for leather, like leather wipes. It's like got that kind of like
the chemically.
I don't know, but like it's just, it smells like an old library the aesthetic of whiskey, an old guy smoking a cigar in a lounge room, in a library. This like represents that a lot for me. Like when I get that whatever retro nasal kind of like experience that brings up memories, this is the one that brings that aesthetic, that image to mind like the most out of any other whiskey. And I never see people drinking it. I never see people mentioning it. I only seen it like in store once and very recently, even though the movie came out like 8 years ago.
8 years? A couple of years ago.
Nah, it was like, I reckon 4 4 years ago minimum.
I don't know.
It was a while ago, so I don't know why we're getting it now. Australia gets everything.
It is
anyway,
2022.
but
8 years ago, isn't that viral?
Seriously. So like, I don't understand why it is like where it is in the market, but I don't care as long as we can keep getting it.
I think I've seen it in Dan's ever since we bought it.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's going to
don't know
remain
why
on the
it's,
shelf for a while at least.
I guess. I hope so, because it is good. But
Is it part of their core range? Or is it just like
maybe
limited?
they made it so because they did a damn good job after they did the movie. I'm not really sure. I don't understand it and where it sits, but I'm glad we finally have access to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's really unique. So like, and proof to like price ratio, it's 47.5%. And how much was it? Like
$80.
yeah, like
If that.
that's I mean
It's pretty high as well.
for bourbons that are of good quality and a high proof. That is like cheap. That's pretty budget.
47. I always thought it was like 45, 40-ish.
Yeah.
I never knew
nice.
it was that. The nose, yeah, it's really... The nose is... I reckon the nose is slightly better than the palate.
Slightly better than the palate, which I don't normally prefer, but it's so good, and the palate's still damn good.
The palate's solid, but the nose
It's nice
is
and
just
sweet,
perfect.
and then it's kind of changes into a dry, toasted nut and toasted barrel kind of impact. But the nose is like that really nice, developed leather cigar kind of note. So let us know what you think. This was kind of more of a quick thing, bring up things that we, bourbons that we particularly think that we've enjoyed that we didn't
and they
know
deserve
we were
more
going to
attention
enjoy,
as well.
and we don't see people mention. Bakers, I still reckon, is kind of the caveat.
That is
to
an iffy one,
but the rest, I'm in agreement. So let us know what you would put for that, for your kind of, top 5 of the underrated bourbons. And let us know what you think of ours. If you've tried them, if you know anything more about it, let us know. But if you've enjoyed this episode of Everything Whiskey, leave us a like and see future episodes from us. Maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. If you do, we'll see you next one. Cheers.
Cheers.